We will now create a new variable BP status 2 from the existing one, BP status. The BP status, if you remember, had three categories: normal, optimal, and high. We will collapse normal and optimal into one category, normal, and we will keep high as in high. So in this way, we'll have two categories, and that will make it easier for us to understand the chi-square test, relative risk, odds ratio, etc. So let's get started. Go to task and utilities. Under task, under data, double click on recode values. We will be using FHS underscore lib dot hard2 dataset. Excuse me. The BP status variable is a character variable, which is another name for categorical variable. So we'll choose character variable radio button here. And the variable to recode is BP status, which, as we just discussed, had three categories. And we will create a new variable named BP underscore status 2. So that will also be that will be a intuitive name for our new variable, because it will have two categories also. And we will write the new variables in the existing input data set instead of creating a new one. Now move on to the tab values. The old value is normal, and new value will also be normal. And then we add a plus button, and here optimal is normal too. So we are kind of combining normal and optimal into one category, normal. And then we add another row here, and high will stay as high. Okay, that's all, and we submit this code. Okay, and we see that the code ran perfectly. So let's go back and see if our new variable has been created. Hot2 dataset is right here, and we see that BP status 2 is created, and let's see if it has done as we expected. So normal is normal, high is high, normal is normal, and here we see that BP status for optimal is converted into normal. So that is what we wanted. So in cholesterol status, again, we have three categories: borderline, desirable, and high. So we'll collapse borderline and desirable into one category. We'll just name it normal, and high will stay high. The same procedure. Let's go back to our recode values tab, and this time under data tab, it is again a character variable. So we'll remove BP status and we'll replace it with cholesterol status, and the new variable will be called cholesterol underscore status 2. Okay, right to the input data set, and the values will be, okay, I'll just copy paste all the values here because I do not want to mess up anything at this point. So borderline, I'll come back to recode values, and borderline is normal, and then I run this one wave frequency, and desirable will also be normal. Okay, so desirable also will be given the status normal, and high will be high. Okay, and let's submit this code. Okay, code log shows no yellow or red, which means that the code ran perfectly. So let's go back and see our new variable there and see if it is the way that we desired. Okay, so we see that a new variable cholesterol underscore status 2 is created, and the original cholesterol status is here, and we see that those with desirable have been assigned the new name normal, high remains high, and then borderline are also being assigned the category normal. Okay, so again these conversion of three categories into two categories will help us understand chi-square test, relative risk, odds ratio, etc. much easily. See you in those videos. Okay, under task and utilities, under task, under data, double click on recode ranges. Using the same data set, the variable to recode this time is age, chronic heart disease diagnosed, and the new data variable will be CHD, chronic heart disease. We will create a variable, categorical variable from a continuous variable, which will have only two categories. Those who have developed chronic heart disease will be given the status CHD, meaning that they have developed chronic heart disease, and those who do not, who has a missing value, we will assume that they never developed chronic heart disease, so they will be assigned the category no CHD. Okay, so we are going to write it on the same data set, and under values we will have the lower value, say 1, and the upper bound being let's make it 500. I know nobody can be 500 years old, but we just want to capture all the values there, even if they were entered by errors at some high value. And the recoded value will be, oh, in fact we have to recode to character, yeah. So they will be given the category CHD, meaning that they have developed chronic heart disease, and all the ones which are not in that the category, we will assign them no CHD. Okay, no CHD. So anybody who has age, chronic heart disease being given, for example, if I can show you the data set itself, here is the actual data set. You see that age, chronic heart disease diagnosed here. So first almost 10 values are empty, meaning that these people never developed chronic heart disease. This person developed chronic heart disease at the age of 57, 55, 79, 66. So we are assuming that all these individuals never developed chronic heart disease, so they will be assigned the new category no CHD. And anybody who has a value available in this category, in this variable 0 to 500, they will be given the status CHD. Okay, so going back, I am just going to submit this code. Okay, and let's now check the data set. Heart2 data set. Okay, and select all of them, and we should see CHD somewhere, which is not created. Let me submit the code again. Okay, data values under FHS underscore lib heart2 age recorded data. Okay, submit the code, and the log ran perfectly. And let's open the heart data set again. Okay, this time it has been created here, right on the top, no CHD. And if I open the original variable age CHD diagnosed, I see that all the blank values have been given the new value, no new category no CHD, and all those who did have some number available, they have been assigned the category CHD. Okay. Let's use ChatGPT to create a new variable in our heart data set. In fact, a couple of new variables in our heart data set. So I'm on ChatGPT. I will turn on the mic on. Create SAS code for me for the following. I have a data set FHS underscore lib dot heart2. In this, there is a variable BP underscore status, which has three categories: normal, optimal, and high. Please create a new variable BP underscore status 2 with only two categories. The category normal will be assigned normal. The category high will be assigned the category high, but the third category optimal will also be assigned the category normal. And also create a new variable from the existing variable cholesterol underscore status to a new variable cholesterol underscore status 2. The original cholesterol underscore status variable had three categories: desirable, high, and borderline. In the new variable cholesterol underscore status 2 will have only two categories. The original category high will be assigned the category high in the new variable, but the other two categories, desirable and borderline, will be merged into one category, that is normal. Please go ahead. Okay, so let's see what ChatGPT gives us back. Okay, Okay, let's create the code and then we will work right from the code itself. Okay, so it is taking its time and now it has created a code for us. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this code, go back to SAS Studio. I will open up the original Heart program that we created in the beginning. I'm going to paste it there. Control V. Okay, so recode BP status underscore status, cholesterol status into two categories each. FHS underscore lib dot heart2, that is the data set will be created. It will be created from the original set FHS underscore lib dot heart2. So that is awesome. Length BP status 2 and cholesterol status 2 is 7, which is fine. Because normal and high, both of them have less than 7 characters in them. Okay, so for BP status 2, collapse optimal into normal. Okay, that's good. If uppercase strip BP status, I don't even know what is strip, high, then BP status is high. So that is fine. Else if BP status in is normal, optimal, then create BP status normal. And else BP status, if none of these categories exist, like normal, optimal, or high, then the field will be left blank in the new variable BP status 2. And same is the case for cholesterol status 2, cholesterol underscore status 2. So if you remember, we told ChatGPT to create cholesterol status underscore 2, but it has created a variable CHOL, which is the abbreviated cholesterol. This is because I have already the dataset uploaded in the Excel form of that dataset already uploaded in ChatGPT, but in your ChatGPT it might give you full cholesterol written here. In that case, just remove the remaining part and use the symbol for cholesterol, which is the original case in the original dataset. Okay, so if uppercase cholesterol underscore status high, then high, and if desirable or borderline, it will be assigned the category normal, which is amazing because that's exactly what we wanted. ChatGPT is really genius. So next, it is also assigning it some labels. Which is a good thing. If you are creating a data set for somebody else, you need to have a label which is more descriptive. But for our purposes, because we are using it for our own use, I'm just going to use the symbolic kind of label, which is BP underscore status 2, because that will be shorter and it will not take huge space. Okay. source, and then it is also giving us the way to check our results. Okay, so let's select all of it and submit and see what happens. Okay, so high 267, normal 267. So we see that now there are 0, 0, 0. It has already converted all of them into the way we wanted. And if we go back to the new Heart-2 data set here and see at the end, we see that BP status 2 and cholesterol status 2 are created, and see if it has done the the job as we wanted. So BP status 2 and BP status, the original one, normal is assigned normal, high is assigned high, and optimal is assigned normal. So that's exactly what we wanted. So let's check cholesterol status 2, cholesterol and cholesterol status 2. Desirable is assigned category normal. That's exactly what we wanted. High is high, high is high. Desirable is not normal, and borderline is also assigned normal. Awesome. So that's exactly what we wanted. Just in case you get any errors or anything, you can just go back to the original program, and if there are errors, just go to log button and just copy all of it and paste it there. And ChatGPT should be intelligent enough to understand that what was the error, and it will tweak or correct the error in the code. Okay, so that was fun. I'll see you in the next video.